Where will you be then?
I'm with a friend. I'm quite safe. But I know what you and Bruce think. You don't believe Rita Merrick broke in and threatened me last night any more than the police do.
If he thought you and I were engaged, there isn't anything he wouldn't do for you. He likes you. Carl, what have you got to lose?
Forget it. I'm not interested. Letting everybody think I'd marry you? You must be crazy.
When? Where is she?
Is it true? Did she put you up to the alibi?
Yes, it's true. So what?
So you're a bigger fool than I thought you were. When are you going to wake up? You've been conned all the way down the line. Manipulated like a puppet on a string by a common prostitute.
It's only a journey through our restless years. Let our hearts run free.
You don't believe me? You come down to the station and read a statement. It's all there. She's admitted it. She's been on the make for the last 9 months and doing very nicely out of it.
I'll kill you. I swear I'll kill you.
What's going on? Sergeant Rankin, release that boy.
Very well, Mrs. Archer.
Peter, stop it.
You'll keep. You'll keep.
Peter.
I'd let him go, Mrs. Archer, if I were you. He'll cool off.
What did you say to upset him like that?
Nothing that wasn't true. It just opened his eyes to a few of the cold, hard facts of life.
Well, I hope you're proud of yourself, persecuting a poor, defenseless kid.
On the contrary, Mrs. Archer, I did him a good turn. Probably the best turn that anyone's ever done him. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must be going.
Must be quite a weight off your shoulders.
Sorry, Miss Mackenzie. What was that?
Now you've told the truth to the police. You must feel much better.
Yes. Yes, I do. I still have to tell Peter. That's what I'm really dreading.
He may surprise you. In some ways, he's quite a remarkable young man.
I know. I also know what he thinks of girls like me. Look, I must go.
Go where?
Back to my hotel. I need some time alone to think things out.
And if I should see Peter?
Please don't say anything to him. When I've summoned up the courage to face him, I'll let you know. I do hope you hear from Alison.
Yes, so do I. Did you say that you have your car with you?
It's outside.
I wonder if you'd mind giving me a lift down to the shopping centre. I have a few things to get, and I don't want to stay away too long in case Alison tries to contact me.
Yes, of course.
Thank you. I'll just get my bag.
Barry, you'll never guess who was here while you were out.
Not my father.
No, a detective from the CIB. Detective Burton, or Burke, I think it was. Anyway, he asked me all sorts of questions about Alison.
Never mind about that. What are you going to do about my father? It wouldn't hurt to go along with what I told him. What's the harm in letting him think we're engaged, eh?
You're unbelievable, Barry. Here's Alison disappeared. She could be kidnapped or anything, and all you care about is keeping face with your father.
It'll only be for a week or so. Then I'll tell him we've called it off, and everything will be back to normal.
I don't think you heard a word I said.
I'm sorry about Alison. I'm sorry she's in trouble, but there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing either of us can do about it.
You're not sorry at all. The truth is you don't give a hoot about anybody except Barry King.
Penny, I forgot to tell you. While you were talking to that policeman, I took a phone message for you.
Phone message? Who from?
It was Mr. King again.
What did he say?
He's sending his car to collect you at 5:30.
All right. Thank you, Janet.
Well, haven't you got any work to do?
Excuse me.
So, you are seeing him?
Oh, only because I've got nothing better to do, and besides, I'm curious to see why he should want to meet me again after the way I walked out on him last night.
What are you going to tell him?
That you stink. And that I wouldn't marry you if you're the last person in the world.
Well, we're set for food. Not sure about clothes, though.
Oh, you've got a whole bag full there.
You look thinner than I am. Not sure they'll fit you.
I'll manage.
Just hope we're doing the right thing.
Can't speak for you, Jan, but I know I am. I'm doing the only thing I can do if I want to stay alive.
Miss Mackenzie must be frantic not knowing where you are.
That's the whole point, don't you see? As long as nobody knows where I am, I'm safe. And that includes Miss Mackenzie and Bruce Russell. If they don't believe Rita Merrick's after me to kill me, they don't believe anything I tell them. They think I'm crazy. You don't think I'm crazy, do you, Jan?
I wouldn't be here if I did.
You'll never know how grateful I am to you for believing in me. You're the only one.
When your memory comes back, they'll believe you. All of them.
I wonder.
They'll have to. Well, only you know who killed Richard. Only you know the truth.
If I could just remember what I saw when I came out of that room.
You will. Before too long, you'll remember. I know you will.
Miss Mackenzie? Miss Mackenzie, you there?
See, this information gets to Mr. Cartwright before lunch?
Yes, sir. Is that all, sir?
No, Barry, it's not. I gather you know that Mr. Archer wants you out of the company.
He's had it in for me ever since I joined.
Well, he's not the only one. Mr. Jordan isn't exactly thrilled about you either.
Well, he resents the progress I've made.
Whatever the reason, your popularity rating's far from high.
With all due respect, sir, how high was yours at my age?
Let's not make any comparisons, eh?
I'm sorry, sir.
I heard about the shares, Barry. The Warrabee mining shares and the bum steer you gave Clive Archer.
I gave him that information in good faith, sir. I thought I was doing him a favour.
Some favour. You damn near sent him broke.
I only told him what my father told me, that he was selling all his Warrabee mining shares, the lot.
When in fact he was buying it up as fast as he could lick.
How was I to know that? I took him at his word, otherwise I would have never said anything to Mr. Archer.
Take my advice, Barry, and keep any hot tips you may get to yourself, at least as far as this company's concerned. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
And you better learn to show a bit more respect for confidential information, or you'll find yourself out on your ear.
Yes, sir.
That's all. You can go.
No, yes, sir.
Oh, it's no use. I can't read. I'm so jittery I can't even think straight.
Cup of coffee will settle you down. Always helps me when my nerves are on edge.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this room was empty. I've come to do the cleaning.
You think you could leave it for today? My friend isn't well. She needs a rest.
Oh, suits me. Makes one room less to clean.
The way we both looked at her, she must have thought we were a couple of nutcases. We'll have to get hold of ourselves before we scare each other to death.
I heard the key turn in the lock, then the door opened. I swear my heart stopped beating. What is it?
Let's check in. Got me as jumpy as you are. For heaven's sake, let's be sensible about this. Nobody knows you're here, not a soul. There's no way Rita Merrick can find you. No way in the world.
Right. Got it. Room 17. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mum?
Oh, darling, what made you come home?
Well, I told you this morning I was coming home for lunch.
Oh, yes, so you did. Well, I'm sorry, I haven't prepared anything.
What's the matter?
Look, it's Peter. The police were here this morning and they said something to him and he just threatened to kill that Sergeant Rankin.
Threatened to kill Rankin? Why?
Well, I don't don't know. And then he just ran out of here, and I've spent the morning ringing around trying to find him, and...
With or without mustard?
Oh, well, they're for Mr. Jordan. What does he usually have?
I don't know. What do you think I am, a clairvoyager or something? Voyant. No, we don't stock that, only mustard or pickles.
All right, I'll have mustard.
Wish people would make up their minds.
Have either of you seen Olivia?
Oh, I'm very well, thank you. And how are you?
Look, I have to find her, Pen. Do you know where she is? Have you seen her?
No, I haven't.
Well, how about you?
I'd love to. You can pick me up after work.
What are you talking about?
Didn't you just ask me out?
No, I've asked you if you've seen Olivia.
Oh.
Well, have you?
No. What do you want her for, anyway?
None of your business. Look, if any of the other kids come in, ask them if they've seen her, will you? I'll be at the Archer's place. If you find out anything, call me there.
What's Olivia got that I haven't got?
Mr. Jordan's waiting for his lunch. How long are those sandwiches going to be?
That's the trouble with everyone in the world today. They're always in so much of a damn hurry.
Joe, look, have you ever known me to miss a deadline yet? It's in the bag, mate. No sweat, yeah. And to you two.
This hasn't been signed.
My God, King. I've got to hand it to you. Your powers of observation are uncanny. I mean, how do you do it? What is the trick, boy? What is the trick?
I believe in keeping my eyes open, sir.
Yeah, and your nose to the ground, eh?
You might say that.
Be careful, somebody might tread on it one of these days. There.
Might I ask you a question, Mr. Jordan?
As long as it doesn't require an answer, which may tend to incriminate me, yes, go ahead.
What is it you have against me?
Well, that's rather like asking me what I've got against bird lice.
Hope you like mustard.
Not particularly.
Well, you've got it.
Oh, just a minute. What are you waiting for, a character reference? How did your dinner go with King Senior last night?
It couldn't have been worse. He's the most disagreeable pig of a man I've ever met in my life. And as for you, I'll never believe a word you say again. You told me he was a regular sweetheart.
Oh, I did?
You know you did.
Yes.
Yes, Peter, come in.
I came by early. You weren't home, Miss Mackenzie.
Oh, no, I went shopping. I wasn't away long.
She's back in town. I guess you know that.
If you mean Olivia, yes, I do.
You've seen her?
Yes, she was here this morning.
Where is she now? I've got to talk to her. It's important, Miss Mackenzie. You've got to tell me.
I promised her I wouldn't, at least not before checking with her.
Well, how long's that going to take?
Shouldn't take more than a minute. May I have Miss Baxter's room, please?
Hello.
Olivia, I have Peter here with me. He wants to see you. He says it's important.
Very well. Tell him to come over.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. I'm in room 57. And Miss Mackenzie?
Yes, dear.
Thank you.
I'll send him over straight away. She's at the St. Regis Hotel, room 57.
Hi. Hi.
You back again?
No, it's my twin sister. Can I have a meat pie without mustard?
We don't serve mustard with meat pies, only tomato sauce.
Without anything. Mind if I join you? Please do. Vogue. You look surprised. Well, I didn't think you'd be interested in a fashion magazine. Oh, what I meant was, I thought you'd be interested in something more informative. You don't have to be embarrassed. I'm not interested for myself. That is, not really. But a girl can dream, can't she?
One meat pie.
That's got sauce on it.
So?
I said I wanted it without sauce.
You said without mustard.
I said without anything.
Oh, I wish people would make up their minds.
That railing's a limit. Now, where was I? Yes. Do you know what I've decided to do? No, what? Enroll at modelling school. I'm going to take a course after work. Truly? Well, everybody's always said I should, so I've decided to give it a go. I think you should. I think you're a natural for it. You've got the looks, everything it takes. Well, not according to Warren Stafford. Mr. Stafford? He auditioned me for a commercial once. He said I was awful. I didn't know how to walk or talk or do anything. I can't believe that. true, you ask him. Say, if you're interested in fashion, why don't you enroll with me?
At modelling school?
Sure, we could go together. It'd be fun.
No, thanks. I'd be laughed out of the place.
Oh, no, you wouldn't. It's probably just what you need to get you out of yourself.
I appreciate the thought, Penny. I really do. But I know my limitations, and I'm not about to make a fool of myself. I've done it too often before.
1 meat pie without sauce.
It took you long enough. What did you do? Kill the cow?
You try wiping tomato sauce off the top of a pie with a dish rag and see how you get on.
Hello, Alan.
Miss Mackenzie, have you seen Peter?
Yes, I have.
Oh, good. I've been looking everywhere for him.
You're not taking more time off school, are you?
No, only my lunch hour. Is he all right?
All right. Why do you ask?
Well, Mum said there was some problem with the police. Something upset him.
Well, if he's upset, I think he's the one who ought to tell you about it. You'd do better to forget his troubles and concentrate on your studies.
Well, do you know where he went?
Yes, he went to see Olivia.
Hi.
Is it true?
Is what true?
What the cop said, Sergeant Rankin.
What did he say?
He said you were a prostitute. Tell me it isn't, Olivia. Tell me it isn't true.
I wish I could tell you that, Peter. With all my heart, I wish I could.
Well, it is.
Yes. Oh, don't just stand there staring at me as if I've got 3 heads. For God's sake, say something!
What do you want me to say?
Anything, I don't care. Just don't stare at me like that.
Okay. How much time will it buy me?
Please.
What's the matter? Isn't my money good enough?
Get out. Go on, get out. Get out! Get out! Get out! You know, you're so totally different to what I imagined you'd be.
From Richard's description of me.
From some of the things he said, I pictured you as being evil, quite without morals or feelings of any kind.
I can believe that.
Is it possible someone could distort the truth so much?
Oh, yes, Richard could. Worst part was he believed it in his own mind. He was so eaten up by jealousy and mistrust that he was incapable of seeing anything but bad in people, especially me. I thought when we had the baby, things might change. They only got 100 times worse.
A baby? You and Richard had a baby?
Yeah, a boy.
Well, what happened to him?
Nothing, thank God. He's growing into quite a little man.
Well, where is he now? Well, why aren't you with him?
Well, at present he's with my parents, but I'm hoping to be in a position to take care of him myself very soon.
I had no idea. Richard never mentioned anything about having a baby.
Doesn't surprise me either. He refused to accept it as his.
He refused to accept it?
He was convinced it was the offspring of one of my countless lovers. The irony of it was, there was never anyone else. Never in all the time I knew Richard did I so much as look at another man twice.
You just have a natural flair. I doubt whether Mr. Archer would agree with you, Mr. Jordan either. They spent half the afternoon bawling me out.
For making the most of yourself, I mean. I guess it comes easy for someone with your looks.
I wish you meant it.
Oh, I do. You look really tremendous.
You mean I need to lose some weight?
You know what I mean.
Say, why don't you come over to my place for dinner sometime? I'd like you to meet Bruce.
Bruce?
My brother. He's the company doctor.
Well, I don't really think he'd be interested in meeting me.
Oh, you bet he would. He likes intellectual types. Pity I've got this date with Old Man King tonight. You could have come tonight. For 2 pins, I'd call it off.
Oh, you mustn't do that. It would never do to offend Randolph King.
You sound as if you speak from experience.
Not really. That is, not directly. I used to work for one of the companies he controls. He wasn't there much. He only came in for board meetings, but you should have seen the way everyone jumped when he appeared. You'd have thought he was God.
Yes, well, if you want my opinion, I think he's a first-class pain in the neck. He was so objectionable last night, I walked out.
Walked out?
Well, not before giving him a piece of my mind. In no uncertain terms. And then, you know, Barry went and told him that we were engaged.
Told him you and Barry were engaged?
For some reason, he thought it would impress the old walrus.
Well, that must be why he wants to see you again tonight. Are you going to tell him? That you're not engaged, I mean.
Maybe. Maybe not. I'll just play it by ear, and whatever happens, happens. Night.
Have fun.
You kidding?
Where on earth have you been? After the way you stormed off this morning, I've been worried sick about you.
You don't have to worry about me. I can take care of myself.
Peter, you're drunk.
So what? You used to get drunk when you felt like it. Used to spend half your time drunk as a fish.
Come on, look. Come over here and sit down. There's a good boy.
Will you not call me a boy?
Give me that.
Women, you make me sick. Oh, God. You're all the same. I hate your guts.
No settlement was reached, and it seems unlikely the dispute will be resolved before next Tuesday, when the strikers will meet to discuss the issue further.
You sure you're all right? You look absolutely dreadful.
Oh, it's nothing. I've just got a bit of a headache, that's all.
Watching television won't help it. Look, why don't you lie down, or better still go to bed?
Yeah, I think I will. Hey, look, it's me.
Anyone with information that may assist the police in their search is urged to contact the CIB at this number without delay. The police are also anxious to trace Miss Rita Merrick for questioning in connection with the murder of schoolteacher Richard Dawson, who was stabbed to death in his flat on Monday morning last. Any person knowing the whereabouts of Miss Merrick is urged.
You said they didn't believe you when you told them she was still in town.
Well, they didn't.
Well, they must now. Otherwise, why would they put that message over?
I don't know. All I know is that she's out there somewhere waiting for a chance to kill.
Good evening, Miss Russell, and welcome to Fairlawns.
Thank you.
Allow me to present myself, Charles Cobcroft, your respectful and willing servant. I'm the manager here. Mr. King has been unavoidably delayed. He asked me to convey his abject apologies and to take care of you until he arrives.
Did he say how long he was going to be?
I'm sure he would not keep one so fair from waiting too long. Meanwhile, please regard me and my staff as entirely at your service. Your every whim is our command.
Thank you.
Oh, Harry, would you see that the young lady has a drink?
Yes.
You busy?
Clive, you sit yourself down. Well, how are you settling back in? Have any problems?
Just one worthy of mention.
Go Cole.
No, King. You assured me when I agreed to return to work here that King would go. That you'd get rid of him as soon as possible.
Yeah, and I intend to. But it could prove to be a little awkward just at the moment. Well, as you know, I've got a substantial amount of business pending with King Senior. Now, business we can't afford to lose.
I don't give a damn about King Senior. I'm talking about King Junior.
Don't worry, Digger. I'll make sure that young Master King gets what he deserves. Have no fears.
It had better be soon.
Oh, you're not going yet, are you?
Well, I've got a few things to do. I'll be around for half an hour, sir.
Good. Jim Berringer gave me a bottle of his best scotch earlier. I thought you might like a wee drappy.
I could be talked into it.
Good. Miss Hathaway told me you wanted to see me.
Yes. What's the score between Penny and Randolph King?
How do you mean, what's the score?
Well, just that. He sent his rolls to pick her up this afternoon. I happened to be in the car park.
Oh, all I can tell you is that she and Barry had dinner with him last night. Barry set it up, and from what she told me, the evening was far from a success.
Well, then why is she repeating the dose? More to the point, why is he?
Don't know. She'll have to watch that lecherous old devil, though. He's been the undoing of many a pretty young thing.
Yeah, that's what bothers me.
Well, that he might undo Penny.
No, that he might use her for certain purposes of his own, which may well conflict with this company's interests.
Well, how about Barry? Surely the same applies to him.
I know. Barry doesn't worry me. Penny does. And she's what I consider a definite security risk.
I'm sorry.
I've been waiting 3/4 of an hour, and I'm not waiting any longer.
My dear Miss Russell, I beg you to stay. I'm sure Mr. King will appear at any moment.
You've been saying that for half an hour, and he hasn't appeared yet. And when he does, he can tell him from me to drop dead.
Penny, my dear, you look enchanting. Quite delightful. Forgive me for keeping you, but I've had the very devil of a day. Oh, I'll have the usual Cobcroft, and Miss Russell will have...
Oh, well, another orange juice, thank you.
At once.
Oh, that you may never know how it feels to be surrounded by fools and incompetents. One has to do everything oneself these days if one wants it done properly. But enough of that. I can't tell you how glad I am that you were able to come this evening.
Well, I can't think why after what I said last night.
For the very reason that you did say what you said. It's not often people answer me back, let alone chew me out. I found it extremely refreshing.
You did?
Indeed, yes. If my son Barry had the gumption to talk to me like that, I might hold out some hope for him, which is why I'm so delighted that you're about to become one of the family.
Oh, that's something I'd like to talk...
Ah, here we are. Just a dash of water, Cobcroft. Yes. There. As I was saying, I couldn't be more pleased with Barry's choice of a bride-to-be if I had chosen you myself.
Well, you don't understand.
Now, tell me, what are your interests in life, your ambitions, I want to know all about you.
Oh, well, I suppose more than anything I'd like to travel. London, Rome, Paris, all of that.
Ah, yes, yes.
And aside from that, I'd like to be a fashion model. I'm going to take a modeling course.
Is that so? Well, perhaps I can be of help to you.
You?
One never knows, my dear, does one?
Well, I have a card from the modeling school they gave me. Oh, no.
Is something wrong?
My purse is missing. It's got my pay packet in it, $100. This is terrible.
There. What's $100 more or less, It's not the end of the world, is it?
It's a very nice job.
Thought you'd appreciate it.
I take it you're off the wagon.
Only on special occasions. It's good to have you back. We missed you.
I'm not so sure that I made the right decision.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. I've been giving quite a great deal of thought to my own future here since you left.
In what respect?
Every respect. To be perfectly frank, I've had a belly full of Warren's tactics. I mean, he's always played the both ends off against the middle, but just lately it's got so I don't know which end is which. I don't like it. I like it less every day.
What do you plan doing about it?
Well, I've got a few pennies put away and got some reasonably affluent contacts who might be prepared to back me if I decided to cut loose from Warren Stafford.
That sounds dangerously like Treason.
If I decided to make the break, would you be interested in joining me?
You mean set up our own agency?
Why not?
I gave Warren certain undertakings. I wouldn't like to go back on them. If he goes back on his, if he goes back on the deal we made, yeah, I'd be more than interested.
Let's bear it in mind then.
I'm afraid there's nothing more we can do, Miss Mackenzie. We can only hope, as Sergeant Rankin said, that the police find Ellison before Rita Merrick does. Look, there's someone at the door. I'll have to go. Now, you get yourself a good night's rest. I'll call you tomorrow. Bye. Hello. Are you looking for Penny?
Well, yes. That is not exactly. I know she's not here. She told me she was going out. But, well, I brought this for her. It's her purse.
So I see. How do you come to have it?
She must have dropped it on the floor as she was leaving. It has her pay in it. I knew she'd be worried when she found it missing, so I brought it over.
That was very thoughtful of you, Miss...
Hathaway. Janet Hathaway.
You work at the agency, too?
I'm Mr. Stafford's secretary.
I'm Bruce Russell, Penny's brother. Won't you come in?
Oh, no, I just came by to return the purse.
I've just made some coffee. Can't I talk you into joining me for a cup?
Well...
Oh, please. Come in, sit down. Make yourself comfortable. I'll just get some cups and I'll be right with you. Well, how do you like working in the advertising business?
Well, it's different. I mean, it's sort of more exciting than most jobs.
Penny seems to like it.
Yes.
Forgive me for saying so. You don't seem the type I'd expect Warren Stafford's secretary to be.
You know Mr. Stafford?
I'm the company doctor.
Oh, of course, Penny mentioned you were. No, I don't suppose I am very suitable for the job, but I'm trying hard to be.
I'm sure you'd try hard at anything you did. I think you'd probably succeed.
Another nightmare?
It was the same one, only this time I saw it happen.
Saw the murder happen?
Yeah, I came out of the room. I couldn't see who did it. The figures were so blurred I couldn't even tell if it was a man or a woman.
At least it proves something. If you saw someone else kill Richard, it couldn't have been you.
Oh, that's right. No, it couldn't have been.
You say you couldn't be sure if it was a man or a woman?
No, I couldn't see her very clearly.
Her? Then it was a woman.
This is all making sense. There's only one person it could have been. Only one.
Who?
Rita Merrick. Who else?
What time is it?
Just after 8.
Why did you wake me? I could be late for the office.
If the alarm didn't wake you, you obviously needed the sleep.
Is there enough coffee here for me?
Plenty. Missed you last night. I got a late call at the hospital. When I got back, you were in bed.
I guess you'd been called out.
Where were you?
With Barry's father. We went to dinner.
To dinner with Randolph King, the great man himself.
Mm-hmm. You impressed?
Immeasurably. Just the three of you?
No, just the two of us. Barry wasn't there. Mr. King and I spent the evening alone.
How did that come about?
Oh, well, I guess he likes me.
Likes you? Damn it, girl, he's old enough to be a grandfather.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Bruce, what do you think I am? You've developed the most suspicious mind lately.
Not entirely without cause.
Anyway, it was a terrible evening. Aside from everything else, I lost my purse with my week's wages in it.
You're lucky. It was found.
Found? Where? By who?
On the floor of the office by Janet Hathaway.
Janet?
She dropped it over last night. She didn't want you to be worried.
Wow, is that a relief? I'd written that off to experience. Where is it?
On my dressing table. I'll get it. You fix yourself some breakfast.
Don't bother, I have to go like the wind if I have to get to the office on time. Oh, by the way, have you heard any news about Alison?
No news whatever.
Wow. Wonder where she could have gone.
I wish you'd eat something. I'm sure you'd feel much better.
I've just got no appetite. I wish I'd get rid of this wretched headache.
As soon as I finish my coffee, I'll go down and get you some tablets.
No, please, I don't want to be left alone.
Well, it'll only take a minute. I can probably get some from the desk, and if not, there's a chemist just down the street.
Look, I know I'm being foolish. I can't help it, but I'd go out of my mind if I was left here by myself, even for a minute.
Well, we'll both go then.
After that picture of me on the television, I daren't put my nose outside the door. Someone's bound to recognize me. Please, just stay with me.
Very well.
Yeah, they're a good line, but we're going to have to do something about this point of sale stuff to show them off to their best advantage.
Well, how about we use a nude model for them? Caption: I always feel undressed without my darkies from Merton Optics.
Let's see if we can keep it serious, eh, Jordan? Now get Penny in, will you, Clive? I want to see what she looks like in a pair of these.
But she's not in yet.
Well, not in? Well, why not?
Well, I don't know.
What the hell does she think we're running here? A fun pile for dropouts.
I think that sums us up rather well.
Excuse me, Mr. Stafford. You said to remind you to ring Mr. Mortimer before
Come here a second. Here, you put these on.
Me?
I want to see what they look like.
Oh, yes, Warren, that's very nice indeed. Well, that's the before taken care of. All we've got to worry about now is the after. No offense, darling, it's just that you don't have the right complexion.
No, leave them on. I don't agree. I think they do a lot for you. You've got nice eyes, Janet. Did anyone ever tell you?
No.
Well, take it from me. And they look even better behind those. There's our line. Beautify your eyes with Merton Optics, huh?
May I take them off now?
Oh, sure. Oh, no, keep them. They may open up a whole new world for you. Oh, and when Miss Russell gets in, tell her I want to see her, will you?
Yes, sir. Has Mr. Archer been asking for me? Not only Mr. Archer, Mr. Stafford has been too. Wouldn't you know it, the one morning that I sleep in. He wants to see you. Who? Mr. Stafford. I wouldn't go in yet, though. He's with Mr. Archer and Mr. Jordan. They're having a conference. Is he mad at me? For being late, I mean. I don't know. He didn't say why he wanted to see you. He can't eat me, I guess. Did Dr. Russell give you your purse back? Oh, yes. Thanks very much for bringing it round, Janet. I was glad to. When I discovered that it was missing with $100 in it, I nearly had a seizure. I would have phoned you if I'd known where you were. Did you have a nice evening with Mr. King? Well, it could have been worse, I guess. Well, he's not as bad as I thought, though. He was a totally different person last night. Did you tell him about you and Barry not being engaged? Well, I tried to a couple of times, but he kept cutting me off. I never got round to it. Oh, that wind. My hair's a frightful mess. I like it with that windblown look. I must say, you're certainly one for dishing out compliments, Janet. Here's my comb. Do you see what I see? 2 $50 bills. I'd never carry 50s. I'd be scared of losing them. So would I. Then what are those doing there? You tell me. I certainly didn't put them there. Then who did? Wait on. Must have been Mr. King. I told him that I'd lost my purse with $100 in it. It couldn't have been anybody else. Why would he do that? That's a good question. Why would he? Oh, good morning. It's Penny Russell speaking. May I speak with Mr. King, please? Yes, I'll hold on. Thank you very much.
Mr. Stafford wants you right away.
I won't be a minute. I'm just getting through to Mr. King.
Can't you call him later?
I won't be a second. Oh, hello, Mr. King.
Penny, what a pleasant surprise. How are you this morning, my dear?
Fine. I've just found your $100 that you left in my handbag. It was very kind of you, but I really can't accept.
What makes you so sure I put it there?
Well, it couldn't have been anybody else. I wasn't with anybody else. Anyway, my purse has turned up and everything's okay.
I'm glad to hear that.
Would you like me to post it to you, or I could give it to Barry to pass on to you?
If you must return it, my dear, I'd much rather you did so in person this evening, perhaps.
Look, I'm sorry, I really can't.
I'll ascertain my movements for the rest of the day, call you back, and we'll make a time and place.
Mr. King? He wants me to meet him again this evening. How do you like that?
You better go and see Mr. Stafford before he blows a fuse. He's in a rotten temper. And you know how he hates to be kept waiting.
Okay. Why does everybody keep hassling me? You want to meet Mr. Stafford?
There are 3 things I expect from my employees, Penny. Loyalty, application, and punctuality. I wouldn't presume to question your loyalty, but as far as your application and punctuality are concerned, your record to date leaves a lot to be desired.
I'm sorry I was late this morning, Mr. Stafford.
You've been late the last 3 mornings.
I'll see that it won't happen again.
I would if I were you.
Is that all?
Not quite. How long have you known Randolph King, Penny?
Well, I met him for the first time the other night. Why?
He's not a man to be taken lightly. Nor am I.
Meaning what?
Precisely that. Send in Miss Hathaway, will you? Janet, will you inform personnel and accounting that Miss Russell will be leaving us at the end of the week? Meanwhile, you can make it your personal responsibility to see that she does not have access to any confidential information. Is that understood?
Does she know?
No, she doesn't know, Miss Hathaway, and she'll find out when I'm ready to tell her. You can make that your personal responsibility also. That's all.
Oh.
No better?
No. It just keeps getting worse. It feels like there's a sledgehammer in there.
I'm not going to let you go on suffering like this. I'm going down to get some tablets right now, and I don't want any argument.
Okay, please hurry.
Yes, I will. I'll be back as quick as I possibly can.
Terms of which will be drawn up and forwarded to you by our legal representative. Yours faithfully, etc., etc. Type that up as soon as possible, Penny. I want it sent express.
Right.
Oh, by the way, I've been meaning to ask you. What's the situation between you and Alan these days?
There is no situation.
I rather gathered as much.
Well, whatever there was, we seem to have grown out of it. At least I have.
And he hasn't, eh? Yes?
Mr. Gillette's here, Mr. Archer. Mr. Stafford would like you to join them in his office.
Well, as soon as that's typed up, bring it in for my signature, will you?
Okay. Hey, did Mr. Stafford say anything to you about me?
No, why?
Well, he bawled me out this morning for being late. I thought he might have mentioned it.
Not to me.
Oh, well. Oh, by the way, you're coming to my place for dinner tomorrow night?
It's awfully nice of you to ask me, but...
no excuses, you're coming. And besides, Bruce is looking forward to seeing you again. Oh, thank goodness you're back.
Rita, how did you get in here?
It wasn't so difficult to obtain a pass key.
Then it was simply a matter of waiting till your friend left you here alone.
Well, she's only gone down the street. She'll be back in a moment.
Not before I've done what I came to do.
No. You're going to tell the police that you killed Richard, or you'll never tell anyone anything again, Alison. Yes. It was you. You did it. You killed Richard.
Tonight, Bill Collins' picture show stars Charlton Heston and Sir Laurence Olivier in the spectacular epic cartoon at 8:30. And stay on 10 now for Spider-Woman.